know Tom Brady, you know Jerry Rice, but do you know the players they copied? The ones who did it first and got ignored. This is the story of NFL heroes the world forgot, but football never should have. Roger Craig changed the way people thought about running backs. In 1985, he became the first player in NFL history to rush for over 1,000 yards and catch over 1,000 yards in the same season. That had never been done before. At the time, most running backs were only used to carry the ball. Craig showed that a great back could do both. He was a big part of the San Francisco 49ers during the 1980s. He helped them win 3 Super Bowls and made the Pro Bowl 4 times. In Super Bowl 23, he rushed for 71 yards and caught 8 passes for 101 more. That made him the first running back to have 100 receiving yards in a Super Bowl. He wasn't just running the ball, he was lining up like a wide receiver and beating defenders in the passing game. What Craig did opened the door for other players like Marshall Faulk and Christian McCaffery. Both of them joined the rare 1,000 to 1,000 club years later, but Craig was the first. Randall Cunningham. While Craig was changing things at running back, Randall Cunningham was doing something just as bold at quarterback. During a time when most QBs stayed in the pocket and focused only on passing, Cunningham brought something new: speed, agility, and a fearless running style. He made 4 Pro Bowls and threw for nearly 30,000 yards in his career. On top of that, he ran for almost 5,000 yards, which made him the all-time rushing leader for quarterbacks when he retired. In 1990, he rushed for 942 yards in a single season. That record stood for years. That same year, he made one of the most famous plays of his career. Bruce Smith, one of the NFL's best pass rushers, was about to sack him. Cunningham ducked under the hit, escaped, and launched a 95-yard touchdown pass. It was the longest pass of the year and showed just how dangerous he could be on any play. Steve Largent. While some players wowed the crowd with size or speed, Steve Largent won with precision. When he retired in 1989, he held every major record for wide receivers: most catches, most yards, and most touchdowns. He finished with 819 receptions, over 13,000 yards, and 100 touchdowns. He didn't look like a typical star receiver. He wasn't the fastest and didn't have great size, but what he did have was perfect route running and some of the best hands the league has ever seen. He led the NFL in receiving yards twice and caught a pass in 177 straight games. He rarely dropped the ball. Largent was also tougher than people realized. In one game, Denver safety Mike Harden knocked him out and cracked his teeth. In a later game, Largent got revenge. After Harden made an interception, Largent delivered a powerful hit, forced a fumble, and recovered it himself. It was a play no one expected from the quiet receiver, and it showed his grit. Mike Alstott was one of the toughest players to ever carry a football. At 6'1" and nearly 250 pounds, he ran through defenders like they were paper. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and quickly became a fan favorite. Not just for his size, but for the way he refused to go down. He wasn't just a fullback, he was a main weapon in the offense. Alstott made 6 Pro Bowls and helped Tampa Bay win a Super Bowl in 2002. What made him different was how he ran. He didn't try to avoid contact, he welcomed it. On some plays, it looked like defenders were bouncing off him or getting dragged along as he charged forward. One of his most famous runs came in the 1997 playoffs. He broke tackle after tackle and rumbled 31 yards for a touchdown against Detroit. That moment helped the Bucs win one of their first big postseason games. Alstott wasn't flashy. He didn't need to be. He ran hard, hit harder, and scored more rushing touchdowns than any player in team history. Dante Hall. While Alstott was running through people, Dante Hall was running around them. At just 5'8", Hall didn't look like much, but once the ball was in his hands, he was almost impossible to catch. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs and became known as the human joystick. That nickname fit perfectly. He could stop on a dime, change direction in a blink, and make entire coverage teams miss. In the 2003 season, Hall made history by scoring return touchdowns in 4 games in a row. No one had ever done that before. The most unforgettable one came against Denver. Hall caught a punt, ran to one side, reversed direction twice, and zigzagged across the entire field for a 93-yard touchdown. It didn't even seem real. He made it look like a video game. Defenders hated kicking to him because they knew he could take it back at any time. He finished his career with 12 total return touchdowns and earned a spot on the NFL's all-decade team for the 2000s. Every time a returner dances through traffic today, you're seeing the legacy of Dante Hall. Mark Bavaro. If Hall brought the flash and Alstott brought the power, Mark Bavaro brought the grit. He played tight end for the New York Giants in the 1980s and early 90s, and he played the position with pure toughness. Bavaro was strong, quiet, and respected by everyone. He could block like an offensive lineman and catch like a wide receiver. But what really made him special was how he played through pain. There were times he suited up with a broken jaw, wired shut, and still didn't miss a game. In one Monday night game in 1986, Bavaro caught a pass over the middle and refused to go down. He carried a group of 49ers defenders nearly 20 yards before they finally stopped him. Even Hall of Fame safety Ronnie Lott couldn't bring him down alone. That play became his trademark. Bavaro won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants and was named All-Pro twice. He didn't talk much, but his play spoke for itself. Many still see him as the model for what a complete tight end should be. Strong enough to block anyone, skilled enough to catch in clutch moments, and tough enough to play through anything. Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman didn't look like a typical NFL star. He was small for a wide receiver. He played quarterback in college, and he didn't get picked until the 7th round of the draft. But when the playoffs came around, Edelman turned into something else entirely. He helped the New England Patriots win 3 Super Bowls. In one of them, Super Bowl 53, he caught 141 yards worth of passes and walked away with the MVP trophy. That night cemented his status as one of the best playoff performers of his era. Edelman made big plays in the biggest moments. The one people remember most came in Super Bowl 51. The Patriots were down big and they needed something special. That's when Edelman reached out and caught a tipped pass just before it hit the ground. 3 defenders were all over him. Somehow he still held on. That play helped the Patriots come back from 25 points down, the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. Steve Atwater. Now let's rewind to the 1990s. Steve Atwater wasn't just a safety, he was a wrecking ball in pads. At 6'3", he had the size of a linebacker and the mindset of someone who loved to hit. His most famous moment came in a Monday night game in 1990. The Broncos were facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Their star running back, Christian Okoye, was known as the Nigerian Nightmare. He weighed over 250 pounds and rarely got stopped. That night, Atwater met him head on and dropped him flat. It was the kind of hit that shook the stadium and played on highlight reels for years. But Atwater was more than just one big moment. He made 8 Pro Bowls and helped the Denver Broncos win 2 Super Bowls. In Super Bowl 32, he was everywhere, breaking up passes and delivering key hits that helped seal the win. John Randle. If there was ever a player who refused to quit, it was John Randle. He didn't get drafted. He wasn't supposed to make it. But once he got a shot with the Minnesota Vikings, he never looked back. Randle was undersized for a defensive tackle, but you wouldn't know it by watching him. He flew off the line with incredible speed and racked up sacks like a player twice his size. Over his career, he recorded 137.5 sacks, still the most ever by a defensive tackle. He brought energy to every game. He wore eye black like war paint. He talked non-stop and he backed it up. In 1997, he led the entire NFL in sacks. That's almost unheard of for someone who lines up inside. Randle made 6 straight All-Pro teams. He had double-digit sacks for 8 years in a row, and he did it all without the usual size or draft status that others had. He played with heart, with speed, and with the kind of effort that never let up. Darrell Green played cornerback in the NFL for 20 seasons. That's hard to believe, especially considering how fast the game moves and how young most of the players are, but Green kept up with everyone year after year. He was known as the fastest man in football. In his very first season back in 1983, he chased down Dallas Cowboys star Tony Dorsett from behind, saving a touchdown. That moment set the tone for the rest of his career. Green helped Washington win 2 Super Bowls. In the 1987 playoffs, he returned a punt for a touchdown while playing through a painful rib injury. He actually tore rib cartilage mid-play, but still scored. That kind of toughness made him stand out. He made 7 Pro Bowls, picked off 54 passes, and was named to the NFL's All-Decade Team for the 1990s. He also won the NFL's Man of the Year award in 1996. But more than anything, he'll be remembered as the blur in burgundy and gold who could catch anyone, no matter how far ahead they were. Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells didn't just coach football, he rebuilt it. Wherever he went, losing teams turned into winners. In 1997, he took over the New York Jets, who had just finished a terrible 1-15 season. Just 1 year later, he had them in the AFC Championship game. That kind of turnaround almost never happens. Before that, he helped save the New England Patriots in the early 1990s. They were struggling, but Parcells gave them direction. Under him, they reached the Super Bowl. Later, he joined the Dallas Cowboys and once again brought a broken team back to the playoffs. Across his career, Parcells coached in 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them with the New York Giants. He believed in tough love, honesty, and full accountability. He often said, "You are what your record says you are." He never let excuses get in the way. What makes his legacy even stronger is the people he mentored. Coaches like Bill Belichick, Tom Coughlin, and Sean Payton all learned under Parcells, and they went on to win Super Bowls of their own. Harry Carson. While Parcells was building a winning culture, Harry Carson was keeping things steady on the field. He played middle linebacker for the Giants and made 9 Pro Bowls, including 7 in a row during the 1980s. He was the quiet leader in the middle of one of the league's toughest defenses. Carson didn't always get the spotlight. That usually went to his teammate Lawrence Taylor. But behind the scenes, Carson did the heavy lifting. He led the team in tackles 5 different times and once made 25 tackles in a single game. That kind of consistency made him the anchor of the defense. His leadership went beyond the stats. He kept the team calm in big moments and set a standard for toughness. During the Giants' Super Bowl run in 1986, Carson even helped create one of football's best-known traditions, the Gatorade shower. After big wins, he dumped the cooler on Coach Parcells. That simple act became a symbol of unity and celebration. Carson had to wait a long time to get into the Hall of Fame, but those who played with him never had any doubts. Adam Vinatieri. While Parcells and Carson built their legacy with grit and game plans, Adam Vinatieri did it with a single swing of his leg. His kicks didn't just win games, they changed history. In the 2001 playoffs, with snow falling and the season on the line, Vinatieri nailed a 45-yard field goal to tie the game. Then he hit another to win it. That performance helped launch the Patriots dynasty. A few weeks later, he kicked the game winner in Super Bowl 36. 2 years after that, he did it again in Super Bowl 38. Vinatieri was calm when it mattered most. Over his 24-year career, he made 39 kicks that either tied the game or gave his team the lead in the final 2 minutes or overtime. Most players fear those moments. Vinatieri lived for them. He finished his career with 4 Super Bowl rings, more than 2,600 points, and the all-time record for field goals made. He even played into his late 40s, proving that kickers can be just as legendary as quarterbacks and coaches.